Greetings everyone and welcome back to Factory Town, where in the last episode we set up this rather marvellous, in my humble opinion, little stockpile area for our mana crystals and then a mana loop that is now happily producing things. While we were off camera, I cleaned a few things up. I have now got all of the mana shards being delivered down here, so we've got mana pipes plenty once again. And just to recap, down here, because this is power, we are feeding the power directly and with priority into our enchanted book, our magical forge. Likewise, we are doing the same over here. Now, occasionally, though I'm not sure why, we are getting air crystals in there, and that is a bit of a problem. Now, it doesn't cause an issue because the air crystal will go straight through this area, but what it is doing is it means that we're not stockpiling any mana crystals in the ways that I had hoped we would. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to place down the filter, and we're going to set that filter up to the correct type of crystal. I had really hoped that that wasn't going to be necessary, but alas, it is. So we'll just do it this way. It isn't much of an extra step, it's just one extra tile, and as quite a few people have pointed out, we are swimming in money, so really that shouldn't be an issue for us. However, why can't I see the mana crystals here? There we go, mana crystal, perfect. Now let's just make sure that is set to mana crystal. It is set to mana. Yeah, mana crystal it is. Charged element, I guess, is the other one. There we go. So we want this one to be whatever will fit in there. Alright, so down here then, we're going to have to set up exactly the same thing again. Oh my lord. There we go. So this one for air crystals. Where are you? There we are. This one for nothing. This one for regular mana crystals. This one for nothing. It is a bit of a shame that the pushers don't respect their item filtering, but that should be fine. Now, hopefully, we will get to see some interesting stuff going on here. We want depleted element. There we go. And here to be nothing at all. Now, let's go and see if we can't catch some depleted mana on the move. No, we can't. And we're going to have to set it up so that we're actually consuming regular mana for now. Okay, well, that shouldn't be, in and of itself, a big problem. So, the thing that we're going to need to do down here, we actually want to convert the mana crystals that are in mana form, ethereal form, back into mana crystals, and then deliver it to the air temple. That should be easy enough done. Let's grab the mana receiver from over there. And we are going to pop these into a stockpile for the time being. We aren't going to want to let that fill up too much, but we'll have to see. We definitely don't want to lose too much of our mana to this. But what we can do here is have a splitter. There we go. We're going to want a filter down here. The only items allowed over here should be regular mana crystals. There we go. And then finally, the mana pipes. And we should be good to go. There we are. Now then, let's see if this works as intended. We've got some mana on its way. The moment this filters through, there we go. It's now splitting it. So it's being pulled out by half. That's perfect. And now we're getting some depleted mana on the way. Moving all of its way through. Now you may notice I've taken away the delta block because we didn't strictly need it, but it did stop all of the flashing around there, which was kind of nice. But there's another depleted block. There we go. So our recharging area is working as well. That is marvelous. But yes, if that did get on your nerves at all, seeing all of the signals constantly going through every time this changes, then you can use a delta block to isolate the signals. You can never completely get rid of them, but you could keep the delta block just to here, and that way these long chains of signals wouldn't be quite as obnoxious. Likewise, down here we can use a delta block. I think we will on this one because that is, and otherwise it's going to become quite the pain in the bum for us, I think. Let's go and find a delta block. There we go. We'll pop you here and here. This one can feed through, as can this. That one can feed all the way down. There we are. And then this one can stop doing that. There we go. And that should be a job well done, in my opinion. Right, so we've got a couple of other things that we can do now. The first one I'm thinking is our production of mana crystals, because we are now losing them. We are actually using them up. Now, the way we might want to do this, currently we're just stockpiling the mana shards over here, and then we're putting it into the barn. But why? Well, this magic forge is making mana crystals in order to make mana bricks, and that does make a bit of sense. But I think we can probably do away with the mana crystals. Let's instead feed those mana crystals out of the mana loop itself. I think that would be much, much better. To that end, let's find the nicest deposit of just raw mana. I think that would be over here. It's got some nice trees around as well. Yes, I think so. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and we're just going to straight up move this building. Yoink. We're moving you far, far away over to here. Actually, perhaps we should prepare this area a little bit better before we move it over. Okay, let's go ahead and set that up then. So I guess in today's episode, we're going to be working a little bit more on preparing our mana industry, because we are going to be doing a lot with that. The first step is to make sure that our basic mana needs are met, but following that, we can start working on the earth crystals and get our research back up and running. Now, we're going to want to mine wherever we can find one. Where are you? There we are. Now, I would love it if it was right in the middle of all these, but that's going to be a little bit of a pain. We'd have to lose, well, we'd lose 9 shards to put this in the middle. But it'd be so nice to have it there. Alright, we're going to get rid of them then. Let's pop it about here. I think that's roughly in the spot that we need it. There we go. Get all of that nice and leveled out. Not that it really matters, but let's just make sure that's all flattened. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so mine goes in. Let's get that built. There we are. It'll mine a decent amount of these blocks. There we go. I would like you to mine the mana shards. Please and indeed thank you. Now, one thing that people have pointed out, that is that you only get the happiness bonus for the first worker. Every other work you add only adds 25%. That is very interesting. Also, mining mana shards costs blue oh my lord, blue coins. Well, that's not exactly what I wanted to see. I will be perfectly honest with you. That is a little bit troublesome, frankly. However, we should be able to just mine these out. Now, if I hold down control, it will in fact build the scaffolding necessary to support this building, which is glorious in my opinion. Now, will that work with a grabber, or do I need it to be one lower? No, it doesn't. It works perfectly. Excellent. Let's pop all of these straight into, well, we've got a handy dandy barn over there that we can use quite happily. That means, well, I'm afraid that, well, why don't you go and drop those off over there? We're going to be moving this entire barn with us. Right up here, we can have those delivered directly to the barn. There we are. That should, I'm hopeful, work. Next step then, we want the magic forge. We can have the magic forge just nestled back here. It seems suitably magical there, in my opinion. We can start delivering the shards straight away. There we go. And you should be able to make the mana crystals. Now, we could go ahead and drop that down, and we might. We'll have a look at that one. Right, are we actually... Ah, yes, we were delivering steam over there. Let's get rid of those then. There we are. That'll do for now. I can deliver steam up there if I particularly want to. And maybe we do. Maybe we don't. We'll have to consider that one in the future, but yeah, we probably do actually. Let's go ahead and deliver that all the way up there. There we go. Right, so the next step is to get some fuel. Now we can go ahead and build a lumberjack over here, or we could gather the coal. Honestly, while the coal is there, we might as well gather it, in my opinion. Later on, we can worry about not having the coal to hand, but for now, I think it probably is fine. So let's drop the terrain blocks down a little bit. There we go. In fact, I think maybe a little bit more. Something to around there. Sure. And flatten this down. Let's just make sure that the coal is easily accessible to us. Now we can dig through there. There we are. That'll do quite nicely. I mean, it's not perfect. Certainly. It kind of looks janky in certain ways. I know. But it's what we've got to work with, so we're just going to have to work with it. There we are. Right, I would like the coal delivered via a silo. The silo can live right there. We could build a mine. Is there much reason not to? I mean, it's going to take a worker regardless. And we could mine the entire coal seam if I have the mine built right there. Sure, okay. We'll build another mine. It's one person versus the harvester drill, which is 2 people. And it should be drawing things in quite fast enough, I imagine. So sure, we'll go ahead and we'll do that. Let's just flatten this down a little bit. Something like this should be sufficient, I imagine. There we go. And we'll build our mine right there. That'll do. There we go. I would only like you to be extracting coal, please and indeed thank you. And this time I would like you to output it first into a silo. So let's pop the silo down right there. We will shoot it straight through. There we are. As for here, well, a bit of an awkward one actually. Let's have this, deliver it over there. Oops, that's not quite what I wanted to do. We're going to need to pull this one down slightly. I wonder if we can now, or if I've built that a little bit too close. Let's have a quick look. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Marvelous. Okay. At this point then, I would like it to start just heading downhill. All the way down. And start speeding up on its way. Perfect. And this will produce the mana shards. And we want to deliver these directly into a transmitter. Now, do we have a spare transmitter? We do. Oh, this is marvelous. This is why I kept them. There we are. Although, that being said, I should have been using a silo. Oh, well. Silly me. That is, we had spare silos. Okay, so that will give us the pipes. And with that, we can deliver this directly into our mana pipe network. Now, we need to be particular about the direction we bring this in. So let's see about getting it around about here, I would say. Sure, we should be able to, in fact, we can just connect it up there. That'll work perfectly fine. There we go, we've got plenty of mana shards being delivered now. Let's have a look at you. How fast are you producing? Well, you're producing with 5 workers, so speed 410%, that's ample. Alright. And down here, we're technically not going to need any of these shards, so actually, goodbye. Let's get rid of all of that. There we go. And we're not even going to need the delivery of the wood there either. Now, if we are very careful with how we position our cursor, we should be able to loot this whole thing without any particular issues. And the barn can go as well, but we're not going to just throw it away. We're going to move it over into our spare area. There we go. And you're trying to gather things which you no longer need to gather. There we are. Perfect. Right. Now then, we are going to need to deliver some mana crystals over here. Now, I don't particularly want a large collection of mana crystals out of the loop. That poses a bit of a problem for us. That being said, as long as we've got mana pipes coming in, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay, well, we'll draw this out then. And actually bring this back a little bit. If it is full, then we'll simply take them back. All the way down. There we go. Do I want to give it a priority? No. No, we don't. But we do need to account for the possibility that we can't accept anymore. Now, the reason why I haven't done that, we haven't had a return loop on our other area, is because at most it's only going to stockpile 2. That doesn't matter to me. That really doesn't matter to me. But this entire queue is backed up. Well then, why? Ah, that wasn't able to filter through. Okay, this did occur to me that it might happen. We're going to need a pressure release down here just to cycle things off in the event that something gets through that shouldn't. Specifically down here when there's a lot of crystals trying to use the same area at once. And I need a way for it to ultimately rejoin the whole system if it gets backed up. But that, and we're seeing it happen here and there, but generally not too badly. Overall, this should be okay. Wow, that got quite high. My goodness, did that get full. But as I was saying, at most this can only back up 2, but this could back up an awful lot, which we wouldn't want to happen. Right, so next then. We want to place down a mana... Oh, actually, no, we should be able to grab a mana receiver from over here. Yes, we can. Marvelous. 3, 4. Okay. That's fine. Let's come out of there. I want to move you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, we're going to have to drop you down a little bit. That's fine. Let's lower this down then. There we go. And back to getting our mana receiver. And we should be able to place it right there. And then add some chutes. Yep, there we go, perfect. And with that, we are done. Marvelous. Okay, so that should just pull it through as quickly as we can. It should start filling up over time. You'll have a look in here. Yeah, that's fine. We can get rid of that one now since it isn't a part of the recipe that we're using. That has filled up. Is it going to start back stuffing? We'll have a watch. How much can we store? Okay, good. I was a little bit worried that it might be able to store multiple stacks rather than multiple individual mana crystals. And if that was the case, then this was going to be an enormous buffer for really what we wanted it to be. But that should be fine. And the moment that that is filled, these should start to cycle back around. We'll see in a moment. Are these going to start moving? No. No, they are not. They're going to start back stuffing a little bit too early. Okay, so what we'll do then is we'll just have that bypass. They should prefer to go straight on when there is an option to do so. Otherwise, they'll back up. Let's just make sure that's the case everywhere. Well, we can certainly go ahead and drop down a pusher just to make the point plain and clear. But there we go. The whole system seems to be working rather admirably, I must say. There we are. We've got discharge crystals making their way down. And with all of that in place, we're even adding crystals back into the network. Let's have a look. Ooh, the barn is getting a little bit low, though. By a little bit, I mean quite a lot. The air crystals, on the other hand, filling up quite nicely. Filling up very nicely, actually. Let's go and have a look. Has that shut this down? Yes, it has. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to see. So that is working as it should. Now, we do need to set up a similar setup over here then. We need a grabber down here set up to be disabled when we've got enough regular mana crystals in the system. Now, the issue here is we are never going to have enough. There will never be a time when we have too many. So what we really want to do is set up a couple of different mana forges over here making regular mana crystals. We've got more than enough crystals to play with. So with that in mind, perhaps we should move this system around a little bit. Yes, indeed, I think we should. Okay. Because if you recall, we will actually use up an entire mana crystal per mana brick we make. Now, we're not always going to be making mana bricks, that's very true. But we're going to be making them often enough. Often enough that I'm worried about it. And also this terrain looks bloody awful now. Let's... Oh, no. That wasn't quite what I wanted to do, but sure. Oh, wow. That... when you've got this tool out, watch out what you're doing, because you are going to really ruin your landscape. Yikes. That was painful to behold. I am a monster. I will fix this at some point. Almost certainly off camera. Right, let's move these down a little bit. I would like this mana transmitter about there. Instead, I can't move the grabber, alas. So we're going to have to get rid of that one. Right then, I would like... Short one there. We'll build another exactly the same. So a mana forge. Sorry, a magic forge. Here. And maybe even a... Yeah, we could go with 4. Honestly, the biggest return we're getting is from the fact that we've got just one person. So yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and do that. Now, this is something that was mentioned in the comments, and it is as a direct result of that. I'm going to get rid of the firestones. I know it hurts a couple of people's brains, and I am sorry. But it was mentioned in the comments that the biggest return on investment you ever get is from the first person. And yeah, that makes perfect sense, actually. Well spotted. Let's adjust our mana pipe a little bit. So get that up there. There we go. And I'm going to need to adjust my steam pipes a little bit also. So I'm going to want a steam pipe up there and then just across for a couple of buildings. There we go. We'll pop one there, and in fact there. We'll go for 4 for now. I think that should be more than enough. I want a magic forge. There and there. And we just want to set these up to accept mana crystals. There we are. Mana crystal and mana crystal. Now, if we have a look here, that should all be connected. Hopefully. We'll see. We need to start supplying them with some crystals first and foremost. Now, I'm just going to have the crystals on the lower level, just feeding straight in. There we are. And this can connect up like so. And we'll add in a splitter just to make sure that it's somewhat balanced. It's never really going to be completely balanced, but we'll just have to accept what we've got. Likewise, I'm going to have some archways over here, and we'll be delivering the coal straight in. There we go. We're going to want archways all the way down. And exactly the same thing to deliver the coal. And that should give us quite a decent production of coal as well. There we go. And down here as well. There we go. And down there as well. Perfect. Now we want the splitters just to evenly distribute the coal. And we should be good. Excellent. There we are. Right, finally, we want to deliver the finished mana crystals all the way down. Perfect. Right, are you getting power? You are not. Very curious why that isn't working. Let's reconnect the mana pipes then in that case. Has that reminded them? There we go, perfect. Now, are we actually... No, we're still producing more than enough power, which is marvelous. And so with that, we're good. We're going to be flooding the system with quite a lot of mana crystals. Now, what I'm going to do here is I think we might want to have a slightly different system for managing the production. We'll allow these to all fill up as usual, but we'll move this one a few more extra tiles down. We'll place a silo here. I will then build the grabber coming off the silo. It means that we're going to have a little bit extra production stockpiled than I do with the other crystals, but I think this should be fine. There we are, delta block connected there, and we should be good. Right, and then finally I just need to hook up the mana pipes again for the umpteenth time. But there we are. Perfect. I like it. There we go. Our mana should be being delivered right away. There we are. And that should be plenty of mana as well. So we shouldn't have too much to worry about on this one. Okay. How are we doing down here? We're no longer producing any more air crystals. Now, producing extra of the regular mana crystal doesn't seem that bad of an idea, but maybe I should do the same for the air crystals. Maybe I should just stockpile it in case I suddenly have a glut of air crystal consumption. Probably better to plan for that than not. Let's plan for overuse rather than underuse. So we'll want this about there. A silo here. A chute. And a grabber as well. Oh, yeah. We can connect you up there instead. And then remove this grabber and we should be good to go. There we are. The first crystals that get down here should cause the system to turn off the grabber again. Hopefully. So make sure that is the system that's over there. Ah, of course, no. The delta block won't shut down the grabber. So I'm actually going to have to turn this one off manually for now. But there we are. That should be fine. Okay, so we've spent a lot of this episode just hooking up the buildings that we already had, but I think we can stretch to the end of the episode to at least hook up the Earth Temple. Now, all we're going to need to do is to create a stockpile for gathering the Earth Stones. We want them over by the Earth Temple. It makes more sense to do that because we can't just cart around the the ether. So let's go ahead and do that. How many people are working there? Only one. That seems reasonable. We are running mana power. Can we actually hook this up to steam power, I wonder? We can. And we probably should. Donk. There we are. And with that, we should be pretty solid. Yeah, look at that. Up to 320% with one worker. I approve. Right then, let's get down here and build up a new elemental refinery. Where are we? There we go. More than enough room for this. We'll pop it by here, sure. Why not? Now, we're going to want to create Earth Ether. Now, where is the nearest Earth collection? The nearest Earth deposit is actually quite far away, but there's a possibility we might find some over here. Not so great. Over here? Yeah, still not that great, actually. How about over here? I'm a little sad. I'll be honest. I'm actually quite sad. On the plus side, though, we don't need this grain, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. So let's go ahead, remove those resources. Don't remove the earth crystals, my lord. And then we'll pull this down to make a nice even area for us to work with. There we go. We're going to build another mine, because why not? Where are we? And there we go. This should, if we're very fortunate, hook into it all. Only 19. Okay, well, let's level up this terrain a little bit more then. Let's bring all of these crystals up to the same elevation and see how many are there now. Still only 19. Well, we are hitting all of it, so there's not much we can do about that one. Sure, let's place this one down then. We want to start extracting earth, stone, if we can, please. That is going to take a bit of mining for us to do, but sure. What we can do over here is to get the produce a little bit higher. We'll elevate it using some scaffolding and a handy dandy silo as well. There we go. Now, if we hold control, we should be able to just draw the scaffolding out all the way over to there. There we are, lovely. And from there, we should be able to get it the rest of the way. Perfect. Let's go ahead and reduce the size of the brush. We don't need to destroy more than we have to. Let's not be too overzealous about that. We'll bring it out to about here, I think. There we go. We could have it just slide down the rest of the way if we really want to. Sure, why not? So we want there, all the way down. Probably should have done that. Oh my lord. Probably should have done that earlier, if I'm honest, as we would have gotten more benefit from it earlier on. But this is still workable as well. Right, so there we go. We are now, or will be, grabbing the earthstone straight out of the mine. We'll just need mana power to make it into earth ether. So we can deliver that straight down here, like so. And finally, we'll also need regular mana crystals. Ooh, that's expensive. Purple coins. Yikes. That is actually very expensive. Once again, we will, however, build some silos down here just to stockpile it. Not that I really anticipate that we're going to be gathering that much of this, given the cost. There we are. And we're going to want a mana receiver as well. There we go. Not too bad so far. Right, do we have enough pipes that we can run this down? Oh wow, have we not actually hooked all of this up? My lord. Well, that is a bit of an oversight on my part, I've got to be honest. Let's go ahead and fix it. There we go. Same down here. Hook all of these up. We're out of pipes. Well now, that's a little bit of a pain. I'll be perfectly honest with you. How are we doing? Yeah, network fulfillment is still fine. We should be okay with that. But bringing over the mana pipe network is going to be very expensive, considering. Well, we've got 200, but this is a long way to connect it up to. Still, we are going to need to do it. And we've got to make the trip twice, which is even worse. Yikes. Alright. Well, let's get all the way down here. And we can have a bit of a swoosh around. We'll stop in... Well, I should imagine it would be better to bring back... If we look up here, we could have this hook into the network back there. No, to have it in a proper loop is much more important. So we'll go ahead, we'll have a loop around like so, and then up, and then back down. So expensive. So incredibly expensive, but it's what we're going to have to do, unfortunately. Thankfully, we will be making more pipes as we go, but for now, it's going to take a little bit of effort. Let's go ahead and place down the logistics, though, since we can easily do that right now. So we want a filter there, filter here. We want these to be for regular mana crystals, and the same over here. And then a pusher as well. There we go. Perfect. Right, we want mana pipes. Connecting these up. And then back down. And the same over there. Let's get these pipes connected in. Oh, wait, no. Yes, that is quite correct. We're just not taking out the earth pipe, the earth mana yet. Oof, this has stalled our entire operation for a while. Okay, well, while I'm waiting for all of this to get back into the system, we're going to be draining the entire system out. I have not thought this through. Not nearly well enough. But I will bring it back when we are ready to make the final connection. Okay, we are about to connect up this incredibly long pipe. As you can see, the production is more or less all set up and ready to go down here. I've even set up the transmitter. This has been set up to a new copy of my barn setup. I do need to add in a grabber, however, and set this up to grab the earth crystals. It should only be able to grab earth crystals from the output, but you never can be too certain, so it's probably best to err on the side of caution with that one. But it will allow a stockpile of up to 100 earth crystals to be able to be dumped into the network at a moment's notice. And over here we've got the earth crystal barn all ready to go. So let's go ahead and make the final connection and see if this works as intended. Now, we are not presently allowing any earth crystals out because I haven't yet checked the system over there, but we can quickly get that going by just allowing 1 or 2 out. There we are, active, and then we're going to shut it off. Now, what I would like to see is this. We'll make it all the way around the system and trigger the actual evaluation of this delta block over here, and then that should open up the gate, as it were, or at the very least, well, actually, no, it would be a case that it would shut it down, but we'll see how that goes. So we're watching the earth crystals on the way, and it's probably a little bit easier to watch it from this view, honestly. There we go, it's all siphoning through. Quite a lot of the air crystals are getting back through because there's just so much trying to push through. You know what, maybe I could set up a little bit more of a function down here just to force more of the air crystals down, because we have got room to take quite a lot more crystals there if we really wanted to. That may be something worth investigating. But here we go, here are the earth crystals, and in they all go, and they immediately feed back down. Now over here we've only got 4, so it's not going to allow any further crystals to be added to the system, but there we are, we've got a bunch of regular crystals moving through the network. Now it's got a very long way to go, and I could set up a couple of areas which will cause our crystals to bypass, the ether to bypass the certain areas, depending on if I feel they need to be there or not. But that should get all the way down and into the barn soon. Now, one thing we may want to do down here is add another AND condition. That is to say, if one of the barns is empty, then instead of waiting for the remainder of the crystals, which might never be on their way, just allow the system to go. Basically, skip the normal process. There we go. We are dumping out a couple of the crystals. In fact, we're going to dump out 97 air and similar amount of regular mana crystals, actually. But the system should work reasonably well, all things said and done. Now, what we should see is that when this one is drained out to 0, it shouldn't negatively affect everything else. But we'll see if that actually does work or not, because it's going to take a little while for that to fully drain out, unfortunately. There we go. It's getting through. One thing we could do to increase the speed that things drain. Ooh, I hadn't even considered that, but that's actually a very good point. Well, we could do it this way, but it's an extra layer of having to have all of these things connected up to. Do I care to do it that way? I kind of do, actually, because we're going to be pulling out a lot of crystals reasonably fast. That being said, under normal operation, there will only be 10 crystals in each one, so no. Thinking back on it, that is a bad idea. Very well. Oh, really? Well, that's rather irritating. I had hoped that it would intelligently only delete the crystals that I wanted deleted, but okay, that's fine, I suppose. Let's see, are we getting any more earth crystals? We are. Little bits here and there are funneling their way down. Now, I could entirely, for the time being, set this up so only white crystals make their way down here, given that there is really no other use. But later on, there will be. I believe there is something that we can craft an air boost on certain structures. That is possibly something we're going to want. Let's see, is that a recipe that we can have? I forget what can have an air boost. Let's have a look through. No, that's fine. I was fairly certain. Ah, there we are. Add air boost. Now, if we add an air boost, it will allow this building to operate faster if we deliver air power. But that resource won't be consumed. It'll be just like regular mana. That is, it will be a power source. And then it'll deplete, and then it'll be fed back into the system and recharged. This is definitely something I am eager to experiment with. Let's have a look. How are we doing for the rest of our production of earth crystals? Wow, okay, that's kind of full bore, isn't it? We may need to adjust this. What we might need to do is, once this reaches 10, we shut down accepting anymore. Because right now, if earth crystals there's a lack of them, that does cause us a bit of a problem. Or alternatively, as I mentioned, add in a clause whereby if the barn is empty, then it will satisfy the calculation down here. So a little ore block, either the barn is empty or this is over 10. That is definitely something we can easily add in, actually, thinking about it. Let's go for computation block. We want just a basic bool function. Sure, we'll add one of these in at each look. Actually, we'll pop it down on the bottom. A little bit easier. There we go. And we'll add in a inventory sensor against each barn. And finally, a math block here, here, and here. Now, it probably would be nice to add in a number block just so that we can easily see things as well. So, there we go. I want this to be offset into this barn and then feeding into that number. Also feeding down here. And this should be set to if it is less than 1. There we go. And this one then would need to feed into the ore block. There we go. We'll do exactly the same thing for these ones. This is a fairly easy bit of logic for us to set up on the whole. There we go. Wow, that updated rather violently there, didn't it? We want this one to be less than as well. And finally, this one should be offset into the earth barn, connected up to the number block there. And then finally, connected up down here. Once again, less than. There we go. And that one connected to the ore. This one connected to the ore. Now, we want to release whatever's in the silo should the barn be empty. It should satisfy that criteria because we're not getting any more than that. So let's hook all of these up like so. Finally, I'm going to want the ore blocks connected in place of, there we are, in place of the greater than 10s. Greater than 10, greater than 10. Oh, it's becoming a bit of a spider's web now, isn't it? But there we go. And it is now working a little bit better. Perfect. Absolutely marvellous. That said, we've probably just gotten to the point where the barn is storing a proper amount, but still, we should see all of those empty out. Now, herein is the problem. This is no longer true, because that is not empty. Why has this not triggered? This should recognize that that is empty. That should be feeding down. That should be feeding down. Well, this one should be feeding down. And this one should be triggering. Why is that not the case? Oh no. I've unhooked something somewhere, haven't I? More than likely. Okay, well I may need to troubleshoot this, but I can quickly toggle that system through. Just to restart it, and that's why I've left these toggles there. Yes, okay, oh no, there we are. The slight time delay seems to have worked. Let's give this a watch and just make sure that everything is hooked up correctly. Is that hooked up to all of the inputs? Yep, that one's hooked up to all of the outputs, correct. That should have reactivated it, but it is not. And that is a bit of a problem. Alright, so I'm going to have to troubleshoot that between this episode and the next, because I've just looked at the time and we are well over time once again. But we have hooked up the production of Earthstones, and in the next episode we are finally going to be getting back to some research, and with that, back to moving the tower around. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care, everyone. I lied. I spotted the problem, and it was so bad I couldn't possibly wait until the next episode to show you. Oh my god. Basically, I instead of disconnecting these two greater than numbers from well, let's for want of a better word, the pull the plug, the drain the sink command, I instead connected it up to put the plug in and leave it there. I basically had all of these connected up to both and logic links, and so yeah, it jammed the whole system. Fixed it now though, so it's fine. Everything is okay. I am a derp, but hopefully an endearing derp. That's all I can hope for, frankly. That's the only hope that I've got left. Take care, everyone.